quick! What's the most common descriptor in the gun world? Too slow. It's tactical. And you'll never be tactical with reflexes like that. Everything is tactical, from the guns themselves to the optics they mount and the accessories they use. The ammo, the magazines, the clothing, the techniques. Tactical. And if you have to ask, you aren't tactical enough. You know, the only thing that isn't tactical? Revolvers. Revolvers are old-fashioned, low capacity, boring, and lame. The opposite of tactical, in fact, aren't they? But what is tactical really? Tactical simply means something intended to attain a specific end or outcome. When it comes to self-defense, I assert that the right revolver can definitely be tactical in that regard, even if it doesn't look like something the military would use. If you are in the market for a fighting wheel gun, keep watching, and in this video, I'll tell you about the best tactical revolvers there are. But before we go, please consider supporting our channel as a member. Your membership will help us greatly, allowing us to improve our content and also reach a wider audience of shooters like you. In return, you'll gain access to private video playlists, downloadable guides and walkthroughs, and even more benefits we've got planned for the future. We appreciate all the support our members give us. Now, let's find out what revolvers qualify as tactical. Chiappa is known for making highly innovative, esoteric, and finely crafted firearms, from triple-barrel shotguns to upside-down revolvers? Let me explain. The Chiappa Rhino is configured so that the barrel is in line with the bottom chamber of the cylinder, not the top, and fires accordingly. It's eccentric, yes, but lowering the bore axis greatly reduces muzzle flip. That's a major perk when you are packing a powerful .357 Magnum. This 6-shot revolver also has heavily textured wood grips that allow a very high hold, excellent adjustable combat sights, a slab-sided hexagonal cylinder to reduce width, and a rail on a ventilated rib, and below the muzzle for the installation of a mini red dot and a flashlight or laser at your preference. This twin rail model is only available with a 6-inch barrel, and that's a bit long and unwieldy for a tactical gun. But it will also allow the .357 Magnum to develop scorching velocity, enough to send any foolish attacker straight to the shadow realm. This is an innovative and surprisingly practical gun for home defense use, though it is quite long for carry. I don't have it any higher on our list because the design is still quite new in the grand scheme of things, and there just aren't that many of them out there. Its service record remains to be seen. Pick one up for yourself for around $1,000. Colt is a company that has long been associated with premium revolvers, and some of their most famous are these so-called snake guns, the Diamondback, the Anaconda, the Python, and the King Cobra. The King Cobra line was recently revived along with the Python and Anaconda, and the King Cobra carry model is optimized for self-defense use with no additional frills. You'll get high-quality materials used throughout, superb Colt craftsmanship, and a silky smooth double-action trigger. A 2-inch barrel is not ideal for getting the best performance out of 6 rounds of .357 Magnum, but this can be overcome with careful load selection. The front sight is a high-visibility brass bead, though the rear is a simple square notch cut into the top strap like countless other revolvers. This stainless steel masterpiece is hefty at 26 ounces, but that, and the full-finger rubber grip, will tame recoil and make follow-up shots easier. If you have your heart set on a classic or don't require optics, lights, or lasers, then the new King Cobra is still an excellent choice. It retails around $899.99, depending on the dealer. Smith & Wesson is another titan of American revolver manufacturing, and their legacy hardly needs explanation, even for those who aren't initiated to the way of the gun. One of their best performing and strangely least known compact .357s is the Performance Center Pro Series Model 640. This 5-shot steel J-frame weighs a scant 22.5 ounces unloaded, but it packs in features that allow a skilled shooter to empty the gun accurately and quickly. For starters, we have proper dovetailed combat night sights front and rear for quick acquisition, and a sight picture that is anything but ambiguous. An internal hammer makes this compact revolver double action only, but eliminates snag hazards on the draw, especially when coming out of a pocket. Notably, the cylinder is relieved for the use of moon clips, something that will greatly speed up reloads in a pinch. Speed loaders are fine, but in my experience, they are prone to hanging up on the little Smith & Wessons, no matter what you do to the grips. And unlike so many other small revolvers that start to come apart when fed a steady diet of .357 Magnum, this Model 640 is rated for continual plus P use, meaning it will stand up to the pounding a lot longer than you will, likely. The short 2-inch barrel is fluted to save some spare ounces. For concealable and dependable .357 Magnum firepower that gives up nothing in terms of shootability, the Performance Center Pro Series Model 640 is at the top of its class. MSRP is $959. The recent introduction of Taurus's 605 Toro model is getting the company considerable accolades. It is the first factory-produced revolver ready for direct mounting of an MRD right out of the box. Any sight that uses a Holosun K footprint will mount directly to the top strap. Considering the classic looks of this gun, it definitely gives it a sort of schizotech aesthetic. But at this point, there's absolutely no debating the effectiveness of a mini red dot on any kind of handgun, including a compact revolver. The advantages for speed of acquisition, distant targets, moving targets, and more are simply undeniable. This small-frame 5-shot .357 Magnum also has a 3-inch barrel, an ideal compromise between handling, concealability, and ballistic performance, and a modest weight of 23.5 ounces unloaded. It doesn't have a crazy design, it doesn't have rails all over it, and it doesn't look any different from a Taurus you might have bought 25 years ago. And that's just fine, because the Model 605 Toro is intended to put in work where it matters, not get likes on Instagram. Attractively priced at just $462.99. Optic not included. We've got 4 more revolvers to go on our list, and I promise the next one is going to blow the doors off. But before we get to it, please take just 1 second to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It really helps the channel, and by doing that, you'll be sure that you never miss any upcoming videos here on All About Survival. Okay, we carry on. Keeping it on brand with another Taurus, but taking a huge step up in caliber with the Taurus Raging Hunter 44 Magnum, specifically the one with the 5-inch barrel. Okay, let's tap the brakes before I get lynched in the comments. I know that, by rights, a full-power 44 Magnum is really too much gun to be considered a proper self-defense choice. So much recoil and blast is only detrimental to good shooting performance when precise follow-up shots need to be delivered in a timely fashion. And yes, I know it's very hard to argue with the raw effectiveness of a huge bullet hurtling along at high velocity. But if you'll indulge me, you can make a great case for the Raging Hunter as a tactical revolver. For starters, you can stoke it with a stoutly loaded 44 Special for excellent terminal effectiveness, with very little recoil out of a gun this size. Its 49-ounce overall weight and integral barrel porting will take all the recoil out of the sedate 44 Special and still put a huge hurting on the bad guy. An integral Picatinny rail atop the barrel shroud allows you to mount any sort of optic you might prefer, be it a micro red dot or even something like an Aimpoint T2. As a dedicated home defense gun, or something to carry if you can carry openly, it has a lot of potential, and if you've got the talent and the grit, you could absolutely crush an attacker with a full house 44 mag. Huge, but with equally big performance, you can get the Raging Hunter in 44 Magnum for $1,068.99. Consider antiquated, quaint, maybe even obsolete today when you look over the long decades of warfare and law enforcement in the United States. You'll see that the double-action revolver was, for a time, about as tactical as it got when it came to handguns. Technology marches on, but these guns hold up even today in the hands of a skilled shooter. Perhaps no other production double-action .357 is more emblematic of that than the Ruger GP100 Wiley Clap Edition. Named for the legendary gun writer, this GP100 is absolutely perfect and completely optimized for defensive use. This is as tactical as it gets in my book. This is another 6-shot .357 Magnum because history has proven to us time and time again that you don't need more than that if you know what you're doing. This 36-ounce wheel gun helps to tame recoil by weight alone, along with a little bit of help from the rubber stocks that feature checkered wood inserts for additional traction. The iron sights are excellent Novak models, with a heavily ramped dovetail rear that is durable and snag-free, while the front is a tall partridge sight with a gold bead. It is a classy and timeless combination, but still a practical and simple sighting arrangement that provides an uncluttered sight picture. A 3-inch barrel is, once again, the best compromise for handling, concealability, and ballistic performance. Like all GP100s, this version is a tank, highly reliable, and will shrug off abuse from even the highest pressure 357 Magnum loadings. In so many ways, this is the very best fighting Magnum available, and one that is highly proven. MSRP is $1,207. You might be noticing a trend by now. The best all-around tactical revolver is a 6-shot 357 Magnum with a 3-inch barrel. Kimber has produced their own novel offering in the form of their K6S, a master-crafted stainless steel revolver with an extraordinarily good trigger right out of the box, and, much appreciated, excellent combat sights. Despite the size, Kimber worked hard to keep the weight to a minimum, a modest 25 ounces unloaded. That means recoil is brisk, but the light weight combined with the polished cylinder flats means it conceals a bit easier than more traditional designs. The tasteful laminated wood grips are partially checkered for a secure hold, and the butt is flattened to aid concealability by reducing printing. Aside from the gorgeous good looks, the trigger on the Kimber K6S must really be felt to be believed, and the double action pull is almost entirely free of stacking and rates anywhere from 9.5 to 11.5 pounds. If you've got the thumb to cock the hammer, the shiveringly light single action pull snaps cleanly and precisely right at 3.5 pounds on average. It looks like a treasured heirloom, but it shoots like a monster. Kimber is better known for 1911s, but I'm eager to see more revolvers from them if the K6S DASA is indicative of what we can expect. MSRP is $1,195. We've come to it at last, a revolver that is recognizably tactical. Just one look is all it takes. Smith & Wesson's Performance Center Model MNP R8 is designed from the ground up as a service gun that can take advantage of modern accessories in a demanding tactical environment. This 6-shot 357 Magnum provides ample firepower and utilizes a scandium frame for weight reduction, meaning it weighs a surprisingly light 36 ounces unloaded. This is despite the 5-inch barrel that will get your average 357 Magnum load up to a truly frightening velocity. At the end of the barrel shroud, directly beneath the muzzle, a short Picatinny rail allows mounting lights or lasers. The use of a remote switch is highly advised because otherwise, it is a long reach up front to turn the light on and off. The top of the barrel shroud is drilled for the mounting of a longer section of pick rail for an optic of your choice. The action has been performance-centered tuned from front to back to produce a buttery smooth and consistent double-action pull that is free from any sort of wall or hitching prior to the break. A fixed trigger stop is also installed to help the shooter get back off the trigger as quickly as possible for a follow-up shot. The only thing I'll take away from this gun is the fact that the rear sight is a standard and fragile adjustable sight. I've knocked the blade out of hundreds of these things in the course of my career, and I can guarantee it will happen to this one in time. A better rear sight is the first and only upgrade I would make to this tactical masterpiece. The M&P R8 is the ultimate tactical revolver and can be yours for a steep price. MSRP is $1,569. And that covers the best tactical revolvers on the market. Choosing a wheel gun does not mean you have to give up anything in terms of essential capability to solve pressing self-defense problems. I want to know what you think about the necessity of having a rail on a revolver, be it for lights or optics. Necessary for a truly tactical gun, or can you get by just fine with irons and a handheld light? Let me know in the comments. And before you run off, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can keep up with all of our upcoming videos. Stay safe out there and shoot straight.